Hi everyone, I'm Oscar Galamov and I'm intern at Office of Sustainability at California State University, Dominguez Hills. And today I want to talk about vermicomposting. So we're going to talk about what is vermicomposter, how to make your own vermicomposter and maintain it, and what materials can be put into vermicomposter. Let's start with what is vermicomposter. Vermicomposter is a worm farm that uses worms and organic waste, such as food, to get the vermicast. Vermicast has been shown to contain reduced levels of contamination and higher saturation of nutrients than organic materials before vermicomposting. So basically, you put the food in, the waste of food in, and the worms eat it and produce vermicompost, which is really good for your plants and it makes them grow more and bigger. Another thing, if you want to build your own vermicomposter, here are the materials you need to know about. First thing you'll need to have is a soil or cocoa fabric brick. Second thing is a worm farm. You can buy it at any store or online. If you don't want to buy it, you can make your own one using a plastic container and a drill. Just make a holes into plastic container so the oxygen can enter. Another thing you'll need to have is a newspaper. Worms, of course. You cannot use just any regular worms. You have to have red wiggles or menorah worms. Another thing you'll need to have is hessian or any other fabric to keep the worms in warm. You can add leaves, cornstarch, and eggshells to the soil to make the process go better. Steps to make your own vermicomposter. First thing you'll need to do is take the newspaper and put it on the bottom of the farm. You can moisture it into water before. Second step, put the soil or the ready cocoa brick, which was put into water before. You can add leaves to the soil, cornstarch, or eggshells, so the grounds will be more enriched and it will be better for the worms. You should fill in approximately half of the space of the worm farm. Third step, you should put worms into the grounds. Make sure they go inside the ground. You can do it by putting them under the sunlight or any other light. It will force worms to go inside because they don't like it. Fourth step, you should put the blanket or hessian on the top of the soil and keep the worms into close the top and keep the worms into warm. The fifth step, you should let the worms get used to for the environment for 1 week. Just don't touch it at all. The last step, you can start putting the food in. There is food that you can and you can't put in. Here is on the slide, you can see the list of it. The things that you can put are veggies, fruit, cooked food, raw food, coffee beans, tea bags. You can even put newspaper if you want, but it should be not colored. The things that you should try to avoid is dairy, milk, eggshells, meat, and bread. You should try to avoid it because worms can still eat it, but it might go bad if they don't finish it, which will encourage flies to come in and the rotten smell will be really bad. There are things you cannot put at all, such as garlic, potato skins, onions, and citrus peel. Worms can eat it and they'll die out. There are important things to remember when you're building your own farm. Make sure to keep the worms hydrated and not too wet at the same time. The ground in the vermicomposter should not be dust and should not be overflowed at the same time, approximately 75% of water. You should cut or separate food into small pieces and spread it all over your farm. It will be easier for worms to eat it, and don't feed them too much at once. If you feed them too much at once, they might not finish it and the food will go rotten. So try to put it on a daily or maybe with a break of one day. You should put the other really important thing, you should put half of body weight a day. Basically, if you have 200 grams of worms, you cannot put more than 100 grams of food at the same time a day, because worms won't be able to eat it, and the food will get rotten. Other things you need to remember is to keep the vermicomposter closed so the flies won't come in and the soil won't dry out. All the time put the hessian on so the worms won't get cold and won't die. Keep in mind, if the worms are fed enough and kept in good condition, their population will double every 90 days. So after 90 days, you can start putting double as much food as you put before. Make sure that worms are getting enough oxygen. If you're doing everything correct, but the worms are still dying out, maybe you should drill some more holes for them. If the ground is too dry, do not pour the water from the bottle inside. Instead, use a plant mister to spray the water on the top. Once you build your vermicomposter, uh, you should you should know about the maintenance. What if the soil is too dry? Well, you should add some more water using plant mister until it's damp. It should be approximately 75% of water. What if the worm farm has extra water? You can try to remove the extra water using a sponge. After that, you can add cooked chicken or turkey breast for the next meal. The chicken and turkey breast are really dry and they will suck in the extra water. What if the farm smells rotten? It happens probably because you put too much food in. Try to reduce the amount of food so worm can finish everything before it goes bad. What if the worms are dying out? There might be a lot of reasons. It might be because they don't get fed regularly or enough, or bedding is not suitable for them. If you think the bedding is not suitable for them, you can try start everything over using a different soil. Make sure they're not standing under the sun and in a dry place and have enough air to breathe. Another problem, what if flies came in? Try to make sure that you keep the farm closed all the time and flies can't enter. And also try to do not put too much food and it doesn't get rotten, because flies like rotten smell, and don't put garlic and milk and meat. Make sure you cover your worms with a hessian, because flies don't like warm environment. Now it's a quiz time. You can test yourself, test how did you get the information by going under the link below. There are 5 questions. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, you can contact Office of Sustainability by this email or this number. Goodbye.